Our show today is about changing lives, and talk about a life changer. I'm here in St. Petersburg, Florida, with Kristen and Elliot Bettinghouse. And they're the winners of the My Little Miracle essay contest, where they got to share their story of their amazing fertility treatment. They've got two beautiful kids, so let's go meet them. Look at these two beautiful kids. What a wonderful family you have.
Thank you.
And I know it wasn't easy to come by, but so worth it. So can you just share some of your story with us?
Yes, well, I married the love of my life, Elliot, and we knew almost immediately that we were ready for a family. So we were both so excited to have children and just start that perfect little family. And we tried about a year, and nothing happened. And that was supposed to be the easy part.
The fun part, the easy part. Like, oh, this is going to be so.
So we went ahead and met with specialists at the Florida Fertility Institute. And we started, it was determined that we were going to need fertility help.
Yeah.
And
was it unexplained? Did you have unexplained?
It was
But
totally
they just knew that it was, with all the tests.
Right. Yes.
Nothing was happening.
Yes, nothing was happening. And then went for round 2 and round 3 and round 4, and you get the picture.
Now, a lot of people would have given up at this point, but not you guys.
No, we knew what we wanted, and we wanted that family. And so we were going to try everything we could, as long as the doctors thought that it was worth our while.
Right.
We were just kind of puzzled because we were so young and it wasn't working.
Right.
So we felt like maybe if we got away, it'd clear our minds. And we found ourselves as we were on the beach, just thinking about little kids swimming and little bathing suits. And so after the beach, we went back to the doctor and tried our second round of IVF. And that was the one that we got these two of them. Yeah.
So when you got the call, what happened?
It was so surreal, but at the same time, we had no doubt in our minds once we heard it.
You just had that vision in front of you, that light in front of you saying, we are going to do this. No matter what, we're going to keep going, going, going. So now we're going to go meet Dr. Sanchez. Okay? Okay, do you know Dr. Sanchez? So is Kristen and Elliot's doctor, is their story kind of typical of people who go through these treatments?
They're very typical for what I would see. There is a significant change that goes on with a woman's fertility as she ages.
Right.
And so
drastically.
Very significant change. In a woman's 20s, they may have a 20% per month chance of conceiving. That number will drop all the way down to 5% in their late 30s and early 40s. So there's a 75% reduction in that decade and a half to 2 decades.
And you know, I know that when you want to have a baby and you're having trouble having a baby, it becomes your whole life. It becomes your whole struggle. It becomes every month you're thinking about it and talking about it. At what point should somebody come and see you?
Most of the time you'll recommend, or the recommendation is for couples to be seen if they've been trying for a year to conceive without success. That changes with age though. As you get a little bit older than 35, the recommendation is to go see somebody after 6 months of trying. There's an enormous amount of sort of emotional expenditure, or emotional currency is the term I use with my patients all the time. And it's huge because every month that period comes when you're trying to conceive, it's just in the lady's face that I'm not having a baby and this is horrible. So they feel guilty for their husband not giving them a child. They feel angry. They feel jealous for ladies out there who do have children. And so they run the whole gamut of emotions. And so you really have to address that when you're going through this process with patients.
Yeah, and we as women spend so many years, not trying to avoid pregnancy that you think, okay, now it's time, all right, I'm all ready for it, and then when it doesn't happen, you're shocked.
Right, that is the case most of the time. And a typical patient that I would see actually is about 36 is the average age. And so at 36, a lot of ladies, at that point they're building their career into their 20s and early 30s. They finally have gotten to the corporate level they want to be at. They finally met, Mr. Wonderful and decided to have a child, and suddenly there's this disconnect. And that disconnect can be devastating to women who are quite oftentimes very used to getting what they want when they want it.
Sure.
And because it's all been planned out in their life.
So tell me about the essay contest.
The My Little Miracle essay contest is sponsored by Ferring Pharmaceuticals, and the Bettinghouses were involved in that. They wrote their essay really from the heart, walking people through the beginning part of their diagnosis and the treatments that went along with that. My favorite part, I think, really, there's really two. I can't say that there's one. My favorite part is the first part is when we know they're pregnant, we do their ultrasound, and there's a heartbeat on the ultrasound. And, you know, I've seen the biggest burly macho men drop their feet crying, drop to their knees crying because they're so happy. And then also when they bring the babies back to me, you know, a year later to show me, you know, look what you made type of thing.
No, it's fantastic.
There's no greater love than that you will have for your child.